Malacañang says the extension of the Modified Enhanced Community Quarantine or MECQ in Metro Manila and nearby provinces is unlikely, given the lack of funds.
Anything is possible but highly unlikely. Well, kung po pwede po talaga na magbigay pa ng ayuda, siguro po, no, po pwede pang mapahabaan itong mas striktong community quarantine. Pero yun na nga po, no, bottom line po, naubos na po ang ating resources for ayuda.
But Roque adds there's no final decision yet from the Interagency Task Force or President Rodrigo Duterte himself. This comes a day after Anti-COVID National Task Force Chief Delfin Lorenzana said Metro Manila is ready for the less strict General Community Quarantine or GCQ after August 18. The same day, the Department of Health reported the highest number of confirmed cases in a single day, at close to 7,000. As of Tuesday, there are 2,987 new cases, bringing the total number of confirmed cases to 139,538. The night before, Duterte also appeared hesitant to put Metro Manila under MECQ again, saying the government's funds for subsidies are already depleted.
Kung meron lang akong pambigay, ibibigay ko sa inyo araw-araw para mabubuhay kayo, makakain. Problem is, the funds are already depleted. Deplete na ang ano natin, at kailangan natin ng magtrabaho yung iba.
Meanwhile, former Commission on Elections Chair Sixto Brillantes Jr. dies on Tuesday morning. Brillantes dies after a bout with COVID-19, just 3 days before he turns 81. Brillantes was COMELEC chair from January 2011 to February 2015. In other news, Russian President Vladimir Putin says his country already developed the first vaccine offering substantial immunity against the coronavirus. In a televised video conference with ministers Tuesday, Putin says, quote, "This morning, for the first time in the world, a vaccine against the new coronavirus was registered." Duterte, meanwhile, vows to get injected in public. With the vaccine, he said the Russian government is willing to give the Philippines for free.
Ako, pagdating ng bakuna, in public, para walang chat-chat dyan, in public, magpa-injection ako. Ako yung maunang ma-eksperimentuhan.
In New Zealand, 4 new cases are detected Tuesday, August 11, after 102 days without locally transmitted coronavirus infections. The capital, Auckland, will be locked down for at least 3 days. Resigned PhilHealth Vice President Augustus de Villa says he left the agency out of delicadeza or sense of propriety. In a Senate hearing on the alleged corruption in the State Health Insurance Agency, de Villa says he could no longer serve an agency hounded by so much corruption allegations.
Ako po ay isang taong marangal, mayroong dignidad at integridad, malinis po ang aking konsyensya, at naniniwala ako na hindi ako babagay na magsilbi pa sa isang ahensya ng gobyerno na punong-puno ng alegasyon ng korupsyon at katiwalian. Ako po ay naniniwala na meron ngang katotohanan, sinadya man o hindi, at ito po ay base sa mga lumalabas na pagsusuri at lalong-lalo na po nung Martes, nung unang hearing po.
De Villa was tapped to join PhilHealth shortly after he retired from the Armed Forces of the Philippines in August 2019. He said at that time, he and fellow retired military General Ricardo Morales promised to put things right in the agency. De Villa tendered his irrevocable resignation on August 6 after serving PhilHealth for less than a year. In a Senate inquiry on August 4, PhilHealth whistleblower Thorson Monteskeith claimed de Villa ripped 6 pages of a procurement document because of alleged anomalies. De Villa says this was in relation to the purchase of CISCO network switches flagged as overpriced. De Villa says he signed the document after it was vetted by the Corporate Legal Counsel, but he later removed the page that had his signature after the overpricing was pointed out. The widow of slain Anakpawis Chair Randall Echanis, Erlinda, demands the release of the body of her husband. This comes after Quezon City police reportedly forcibly took Echanis' body during the wake and brought it to a different funeral home. The police also arrested a paralegal who was at the wake. A demand letter by the family's lawyer says the wife of Ka Randy, his family, and friends have positively identified his lifeless body. They claimed it from the funeral parlor and transferred to another of their choice. That is their right. The PNP has no right to interfere with such right. The police says it has yet to verify the body is that of Randall Echanis. The Philippine peso strengthens to a nearly 4-year high of 48 pesos and 92 centavos to $1 on Tuesday, August 11, as the global economy suffers from a recession triggered by the coronavirus pandemic. This is the strongest the peso has been since November 10, 2016. Union Bank Chief Economist Carlo Asuncion says the lack of dollar demand as well as the pandemic's impact on the global economy contributed to the peso's strength. ING Bank Manila Senior Economist Nicolas Mapa says the implosion of imports due to the lack of economic activity is also a factor. A strong peso means the Philippines can purchase cheaper imports, but it also means that the country's exports would be more expensive. Filipino families relying on overseas remittances will also get less in pesos. A post claiming Public Works Secretary Mark Villar slammed the media for not reporting about additional quarantine facilities is false. In a Facebook post by user Kate Castro, a manipulated image of Villar contains the words, "This is not being reported by media, 22 additional quarantine facilities." Castro cites bribery and anti-Duterte propaganda as the cause of non-reporting. The image includes a quote attributed to Villar, which says, "We are currently building 22 additional quarantine facilities in Metro Manila." Castro published her post on Saturday, August 1. It was no longer available as of Friday, August 7. At least 3 media agencies reported about the construction of these additional quarantine facilities. There is no evidence to suggest that media agencies were bribed or refused to report on this.